org like Team Secret, also another massive org. Now, I'm not saying that the rest of the orgs are like bad or like unknowns, but compared to the amount of success these particular orgs I mentioned have had in other esports titles, you would assume that they do have, a bigger support system, so to speak, for these teams to deliver. So the question here is, are these three teams of these three big orgs I mentioned, are they delivering because of maybe the support system they've been provided by the org, or were they just good already and the org just picked up a good lineup? Now, there's also the caveat that FaZe Clan didn't make it, and they're a massive org as well. So, there are still certain outliers. Very lucky there, Jumper, and is going to scurry his way to safety. We can get back to the topic.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think with regards to Enigma and Team Secret, they already have had good support structures within PUBG Mobile for the last kind of year, especially Team Secret. Like, they played in 2020, 2019 even, right? So I don't think that's too much of a question on that. The support structure is definitely there. I think the biggest plus for me in terms of a big org entering the scene has been Down One Gaming, and the fact that they will have had less time to implement the big support system or to develop a big support system within PUBG Mobile for the South Korean side, because they did acquire the roster relatively close to the PMGC. So to me, this was just a good team getting a good confidence boost by a big org signing them, and then recognizing that, hey, if they support us, if they believe in us, if they're putting, money and a name behind us, we should do that to ourselves, and they're showing up. And I think that kind of like investment from a big team like Down One, a big org like Down One Gaming, I think is only a plus for other big orgs entering the PUBG Mobile scene, to extend on it. I'd love to see a Team Liquid, I'd love to see a G2, right? Those kind of orgs entering in towards PUBG Mobile into these regions, and recognize the power that the community have, the power that is in terms of competitiveness, and see them succeed within that. But either way, this game is going on. Teams are converging in towards the central part of the circle. Nova have a 2-2 split, which is, I think, quite risky considering how deep they are. The phase 2 has just popped up going up north. It's good for BTR and Team Secret, but right now they're kind of locked in their own internal battle, which could hurt both teams.
I'm really sad right now.
Why?
The islands.
Oh, I know, man.
Just gotta wait. One day, man. Zuxi. Oh, he just got blown up there by Team Secret. First blood being drawn, and as is the case in a map like Miramar, a lot of the early casualties do take place inside the vehicles, which wind up being coffins for them. Order has been knocked, and Appy just pushing up, but they're getting shot from afar. Great cover fire being provided by SiAL from the distance. We talk about how this guy doesn't really have the stats, but he definitely, it's the intangibles. It doesn't have to get all the eliminations for his team. As long as he's doing his job, he is a very valuable member for this team. So great work there as Nova will manage to get the res. I mean, QSIL's position here for Rivals, they kind of pinned down with a man down at the same time.
Great quick response from Nova, and it's really part of what has made them so dominating in these lobbies. I talked about how they had a bit of a big 2-2 split in phase 1. Well, converging together, recognizing that teams were going to be around them is going to make it work, but Werthal is able to come in and get that opening knock to at least save 4 lines for the time being. Appy is still around. QC1 goes a little bit too deep and pays the price.
Oh, the trades are so fast and furious. Appy will fall as well. Now Jimmy is a lone man standing for Nova, and he is getting hounded. Appy down. Appy trying to crawl down that ridge so he can be potentially rezzed by his teammate. Brithal with a nade trying to keep the final member at bay. Deals a little bit of damage onto the final member standing. And Jimmy, what does he do? He is milling around, and I guess he kind of feels like him going for the res is going to be unlikely. In fact, the decision has been made for him as Rithal's going to finish off a member, and it's looking very uncomfortable here for the Kings of the Hill right now. But Jimmy, he might find an angle here with a nade.
Oh, a little bit too late to the party on that one. He's still continuing to take the fight. But as a solo, maybe you should look to back off a little bit, go within the comfort of the junkyard area. Airpull is going to pull out a nade and opts to leave it inside his pocket. We have seen a bit of action go down between MS Chambori and Down One Gaming. They're fighting kind of deep within the center, the El Azahar, South El Azahar Hill, just to the northwest of Junkyard, and Genesis Dogma and Reject fighting on the eastern coastal line.
Yeah, 3 simultaneous battles breaking out in Genesis Dogma. Man down already and knocks taking place. It's Jimmy. I'm not too sure about that. For Appy, he's just going for the fuel alone. I love what he's doing. He's trying to get around the corner, but he won't stay alive as Jimmy. No, he doesn't quite land a find the finish.
No way!
Gets another knock. It's a 1 versus 3. Jimmy has barely been scratched thus far. He could clutch this one out. Daush is going to be coming in from behind. Daush is going to finish off Lepu and Ritz on the last man standing. And Jimmy, he just pulled off just something miraculous. Of course, being helped a little bit out there by a third party coming in. And now it's a 1v1 and Jimmy immediately legging it. What a turnaround for Nova.
4 rivals. Why you gotta throw like that, bro? Why you gotta throw like that?
Yeah.
Like it was 1 by 1. It's like, you know, throwing a baseball towards a strong batter. You know, you're setting up right out of the park.
He didn't even need a third party. That could have easily gone his way. He could have 1v3'd them. They were just getting fed, and you hate to see it.
You do. You do.
Uni, yup, it's doing a barrel roll, but he gets back on his feet. And Damn One Gaming, the 2-man squad, will continue to try and find some safety, but wherever they go, there's someone waiting, bro.
See, here's the thing. With all the madness that we saw with Jimmy as the last player in Nova pulling out the might, the next circle is shifted towards El Azahar.
Oh,
the Xavier going there. The last 2 players at Down One Gaming going there. This is good, but I think it's kind of, to me, it's very much digging your grave. Because look at the teams that are around El Azahar. You got Stalwart on the Western Hill, you've got 628 on the Southern Hill, you've even got BTR, despite the kind of lack of confidence they've shown. They are on the Eastern Hill, however, they have a bit more traffic. If that circle shifts away from El Azahar, north, south, east, or west, man, I feel for the Xavier. I really do.
Here we go. The 1v1. Nova versus 4 rivals. And Jimmy looking to clutch it for his team. I'm going to give him the 1v3 here. I'm going to just try and ignore the fact that 628 third partied. And this is the... Boys and girls, this is called a real 1v3 when all your teammates are dead. That is a 1v3. And Jimmy might just be able to pull this one off. He's circling around Rithal, making a lot of noise, trying to just eke out the nades. That was very, very, very close. A follow-up nade. Thankfully, somehow, it doesn't quite catch him. And Jimmy, he's been patched up, and he continues to circle around, looking to find Rithal, looking to avenge his fallen comrades.
Rico, Nigma, DRS, all in great positions between the direct western edge of the circle, the northwest and the north. But they also need to think about where this next shift is going to go. I would like a little bit more confidence in how they're moving, because we know that they have good space in front of them, but they might not be aware of that. And right now, the 3 teams have quite a heavy spread. The fight is still going on, though, between Genesis Dogma and Reject as was on the direct east. Jimmy goes down. Unfortunately not the cleanest way to go down. It wasn't that 1v1 before rivals. They survive.
By the skin of the teeth. By the skin of their teeth. Shout out to Jimmy. That was he played it so very well, but yeah, in the end, not quite able to get the 1v3. But he does get a couple eliminations, and considering how terribly it went for them, I guess that's some consolation. Now the Kings of the Hill will bid us goodbye here a little early on the 5th map here in Miramar.
We're going to see a city finish for the first time in Miramar in quite a while. I'm here for it. Center's up.
Boy.
Infinity right in the heart of the city. They're surrounded by the likes of Cryptics, the Xavier on the northern edge. You have 628 on the southern hill continuing to hold our ground. Stalwart on the western hill. We do finally lose Reject. Genesis Dogma hold things out. Sitar and Daybot, the final 2 players alive. But they have a hard task coming into the northeastern edge of the circle. BTR, fair play, doing a pretty good job of covering themselves. They've been able to join back up as a 3-person team. One of their players was outside the circle. It all depends on how they're going to be able to manipulate the likes of Team Secret, the final 2 players of Genesis Dogma, and even DRS, who have found their way into the northern edge.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very densely populated very quickly, unless the circle decides to play a bit of a joke on everyone and shifts towards the right-hand side.
It could.
Find out eventually. Yeah, it could. It could very well happen, but Vidhan, 2-4 in hand. Very, very capable player, and he is aware. His little spider sense tingling. Stalwart Esports above, looking to rain down a bit of hellfire. DRS have managed to make their way, well, they have almost made their way inside of the zone, but they are exchanging a few blows in the distance with a couple of teams nearby, so they need to be careful. As Rico Infinity, I like this. They're taking the fight to Stalwart Esports. Very brave. But can they make it work is the question. No is the answer from top. He's going to get the first knock.
Oh, but it's clean responded by Prestigio. The backline, Sigton comes in, but he's going to get put under a lot of pressure. It's just one knock into the arms of Stalwart. And Nas is trying to hold things down against Pika. Pika's down to around half health, but Anas isn't looking good.
Oh, Anas was just trying to heal himself, and it's all on to SK Ton. 1 versus 3. Takes down top, though. Action and Pika. Pika is going to first patch himself up before committing to this particular fight. Action spots out SK Ton in the distance. He knows exactly where he is. Just a 1 rock for cover. And a well-placed, a well-cooked, a well-timed nade could find him, but SK Ton, good awareness, able to reposition himself, and he might actually get the res onto Prestigo. Stalwart Esports seems to be unaware that he has moved from behind that rock.
And I do have to say, I think that was a bit of a mistake initially from Stalwart, because I think they allowed Rico to come up that hill a little bit too easily, and they nearly paid the price as Team Secret going up against BTR. I said BTR were going to be able to possibly gatekeep, but they're down to just 2 players. Luxie pushing in, trying to hold it, trying to find it on towards Kid. Team Secret coming in, they come on. Ice Shots gets a knock.
This is looking very, very messy. Team Secret. Fredo can patch himself up, which he will do indeed. Player advantage of Team Secret, but Jumper just goes in for the 1v1.
Oh, Ryzen!
Coming in from Ryzen, finds a 2.
No!
Fredo
No!
looking to deliver. They were unaware there's still another player there. And now it's Highboy versus Fredo, the 1v1. Fredo tossing an incendiary. What does Highboy do? Does he come into the fight? Does he go for the res? So many decisions to make. Ryzen slowly crawling his way towards Highboy. He's going to go for the res. Fredo, though, he's still thinking. He's still wondering what's going on. He takes out his gun. He's going for the duel. He rattles out the bullets. And Highboy, what's going on? What happened? What happened? When you go in from them, Jumper gets taken down. I think BTR came out on top. BTR did come out on top. And BTR are going to take down Team Secret. That came down to the 1v1. And I really thought Team Secret had that.
So did I, but Jumper hesitated a little bit too much. And hey, look, I also think there's a little bit of back end where the former teammate of the Team Secret boys comes in to take them out. And is this the start of the rise of BTR? They're down to 2 players. The circle is shifted over to the west. We are seeing an L as a hard finish, but they have very little traffic in front of them, and a lot of the teams outside of probably DRS are in their own little battle within El Azhar, so they're not really looking behind them. So BTR could continue to stay alive, and they're currently on 5 eliminations.
I really thought they had, the Xavier had no idea Uni's there, but Incendiary got locked in. They know, oh, Hamodi, that vehicle might be the end of him. Enigma Galaxy moving in the vehicles, they're getting just whittled away 1 by 1. If they can find a little bit of cover, if Lord can deploy a couple of smokes, he can get both the reses. It is definitely a possibility. Both of them are well inside of the zone, so yeah, there's still a chance for Enigma Galaxy to make their way back. In the meantime, the Infinity. All 4 members alive and kicking. And a beautiful nade. They're able to chunk away a little bit of damage. Not quite able to land the killing blow, however. And that, the second one and the third one somehow cryptics. They are blessed. And all 4 members stay intact, at least for now.
I have to say, the Xavier have been quite lucky in this game with how the circles have shifted, because they committed themselves kind of quite deep to El Azahar. They had the northern side, but then as the circle has shifted, they've gone a little bit deeper into the city. That has allowed DRS to enter. However, if the circle shifts down southwest on phase 6, DRS are going to have to cross that road, and it's very tricky to pull that off. UI Boy is knocked, unfortunately, as he tries to make his way in. Will Ryzen be able to get the revive? I would argue yes, because Rab comes in and knocks down Ema.
I didn't notice Rithal there. You gotta remember, 4 rivals, this one-man squad. He's still there. He's guaranteed themselves a top 9 placing at the very least. Out in the blue, who's trying to make his way in. His days might be numbered, but still very much alive.
God.
Coming in from behind Cryptics. And the Cryptics are aware of where he is, which is a great thing for 4 rivals.
26 players, 9 teams. El Azahar finish right in the city.
Oh boy, it's gonna get bloody, isn't it? It is gonna be a bloodied city by the end of this map, Imperium. Great nade coming in, but unfortunately not quite able to thread the needle there. Or else a couple of players of Starwood Esports would have been in a bit of a pickle, and 4 rivals thought he'd survive a little bit longer, but he will fall. Will Rithal, 9th place for 4 rivals, 4 elimination points. Starwood Esports now taking the fight to the infinity, and that's going to be a quick finish under God Tunny.
Lovely Molly being thrown down. Newsy's gonna get connected on that. Drop, and roll. Hot drop and roll. That's good. Newsy.
He made it.
How was he alive?
He's got 3rd-degree burns, Imperium. How can he even hold a gun with those blistered hands? I don't even know, but he's patched himself up, and the Infinity are back on their feet again. They have lost 1 member, however. I love how Starwood Esports, the moment they get the knock, they immediately confirm the kill, and they've managed to just push away the Infinity as the Xavier now just laying down the paint onto Amodi, who miraculously seemed to just be impervious to bullets, but he will finally fall.
This could be a cheeky Cryptics chicken dinner. They have 4 players up. 3 players up. They made it across the road. They've been less punished by Infinity because they're taking their own fight with Stalwart. On the southeastern edge, I'm looking at this because they only have the last player of BTR. They have kind of DRS up on the northern side, but again, it's shrunk down south, so there's less of DRS's position that's strongly inside this circle, and they will have to think about crossing the road. The Xavier are probably going to gatekeep them. Mina, Cryptics chicken dinner, I can see it happening.
Okay, that'd be huge for them, considering how they have been struggling a little bit compared to their Mina counterparts in the form of Nigma Galaxy. Starwood Esports pounding down the other Nima team, Nigma Galaxy. It's not looking good for Lord. He's got his teammate around, but Roth is quite a distance away. Not much he can do in Lord. Just running around, trying to avoid the barrage of utility being lobbed in. And speaking of utility, brilliant nade from Frankie. Catches Pika off guard, and that's the opportunity Lord's going to use to try and make his escape, and he's just done it. He snuck away. Brilliant play coming in from Lord.
Benny Hill-esque moves coming out from Lord. Here comes Newsy.
Good Benny Hill. Man, feels so old. I remember Benny Hill. Used to watch it coming back from school. Yep, another nade! This time from Newsy and Infinity. And the Xavier are just harassing Starwood Esports. Top, I don't think he's going to be... can he be res? He should be. But the second nade is going to find...
God.
Oh, the nades are perfection. And look at Lord pushing in, third-partying. Just a one-man standing for his team because his teammate Rolf is nowhere close by. This is murky. This is messy. Infinity, Newsy, and Logan now have to be cognizant of the fact that there's another player lurking around. They need to be careful. Starwood Esports' arrest comes in right in the nick of time. Logan almost getting the knock and the finish, but Starwood Esports, they manage to kind of patch themselves together. No, top will fall. Still 2 members standing. The patch is taking place for action, and he is indeed ready to go all in. Infinity still looking to finish up these 2 members of Starwood trapped outside.
Oh, Lord. No way.
Lord is going to be helping Starwood Esports, third-partying their way, and Infinity were not expecting that. And now Logan is getting harassed from all directions.
He's nearly done it.
Like his namesake. Can he stay alive? Lord. Can he battle the bullets is the question. He's going to go out in the open. Takes on Lord. Action lying in wait, trying to keep Logan at bay. The blue pushing in. Action's going to finish him off, and the Infinity are no more.
Roof have pushed across the road. Last player standing. He's going to get stabbed in the back. Down by Stalwart. Final 4 teams left alive. The Xavier still up as a full squad. DRS down to a duo. Cryptics down to just 1. And Stalwart down to just 1.
The Xavier 4 members. This is theirs for the taking. And Pika, man, like how much nade damage have Solid Esports taken in the past 3 minutes?
Too much, man. Too much.
Too much, yeah.
Just too much.
Great answer there. We say goodbye to Starwood Esports, 8 eliminations, Xavier, DRS, and Cryptics. We got a MENA team, the South Asian team, and a team from Vietnam duking it out, trying to claim that chicken dinner here on the penultimate map of day number 2 of the penultimate day as well. And Xavier is looking like they're well on their way. They've been looking good thus far, not overextending, not getting too over eager, just keeping together, taking the fights where they have the advantage. And right now, unless something goes really awry, they should be well placed to claim the chicken dinner.
DRS have done a great job of keeping themselves very heavily within this game. Even though one of the players that made their way across the road got knocked, a revive came through. An instant nade knock onto Lazy Boys puts a lot of pressure on the Cryptics, but El Chapo turns around and gets a knock onto Rabbiz.
How is El Chapo still standing? How is he still standing? Sliver! Barely a millimeter of HP, and he is still getting pushed. Great work by him, though, taking down Rabbiz, but Rabbiz has found a little bit of cover, and eventually he will be put down into the ground by DRS. Gyalden with a perfect nade, and now the 4v3. Temporarily a 3v3, though, because the res hasn't taken place for Rabbiz. And DRS, can they steal this one away from Xavier? They have been very quiet thus far. Have DRS in this past month in PMGC, in all honesty, and if they can claim this chicken dinner, taking out Xavier, it is going to be a great time for them to turn things around.
They've had a better day today, but indeed crowning with the chicken dinner would be a big plus to their confidence. Can't deny what the Xavier have done consistency so far day 2 off the back of a very volatile day 1, and the shots are coming through. Nima, sliver of health as he pulls off a first aid.
Frankie, it's going to be the tip of the spear here. Looking to take the fight to DRS. DRS right outside, though. Smoke's eventually going to fade. Gyalden got his little broken wall to work with a well-placed nade could ruin them. They don't need nades, they just need the bullets. And it is going to be Duck with the finish onto one member. A second member knocked down. Neva, the last man standing, and Xavier, they do not stumble even once. And they claim a very well-deserved chicken dinner. Xavier have been, I mean, this performance in the finals has just been phenomenal from the Vietnamese side. I've been waiting for this for 4 weeks, Imperium, 4 weeks, and they finally deliver.
I'm kind of blown away by Xavier and how well they're playing. There was a lot of risk in how they moved through this game and committing to Al Azhar so early in the game again, but it paid off. And 4 chicken dinners now? I think 4 chicken dinners?
Yeah, 4.
2 a day? That's amazing. And
we're
again,
not done with the day yet. We're not done.
I know. But again, to kind of follow that up with a lot more consistency in today's performances, I would argue better performing team than Nova right now. Even though the standings will show otherwise, I would argue being able to close out those games the way the Xavier have done, man, like taking the bull by the horn and doing what they need to do. Strong play.
And I gotta say, I'm super impressed as well by the okay, so if you look at Nova and Damwon Gaming, they have almost equal placement points and elimination points. Xavier, I mean, it's not like they're not fragging, but they seem to be much more tempered in their aggression, and they're just relying on this consistent finishes and, of course, claiming the chicken dinner. And they don't really, if you notice, they rarely seem to be in the kill feed when it comes to the early game or like early mid game, so to speak. Right? They start to really turn the pressure, so to speak, when it comes to the mid to late game. So it's just working out for them, and I just wonder, like, where was this Xavier all this while?
Do you really need to ask that? Because at the end of the day, they still did what they needed to do to make it into the finals.
True.
There's no prize money involved in the finals, right? So, hey, they pulled out in the finals.
They pulled out in the finals. They pulled out. They're looking really good. Of course, we're looking good as well. Are the wonderful people on the analyst desk. Jason, take it away.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, Xavier 4 chicken dinners in the finals. James, do we have a new super team here in the midst? Do we have a new first place team potentially coming through?
Great question, Jason. I don't think so just yet. I think that It's ridiculous to think about like how we've got here. They have got themselves 4 chicken dinners in 11 games. There is no team that has even got themselves two so far. However, El-Azhar is their drop spot. They'd left, they come back, they go to police station, and then they move to the central part of El-Azhar, which is the most important chunk of it when you're actually playing an El-Azhar finish. And then they're able to convert from there, which is brilliant. Now I think they're they're guaranteed in top 3, maybe number 2 here on the rankings so far. And I think, yes, they're playing with these positions very, very well and converting them into numbers, but there's a little bit of fortunate there.
Yeah, they also eliminated
Max?
3 players, I think, from Damwon, so it made it a little bit easier to potentially gun for that second place. Yeah.
I think the weird thing is, right, is that it's kind of unbelievable to see them doing so well from what we've seen these last 3 weeks, but at the same time, they were a good team at PMWI just, you know, like 5 months ago, right? But it's so weird to see like them do well, then a drop off, and then just perform better than they probably ever have in their careers.
You could almost compare them to footballists in a way. Like, they have a really good tournament, then a really bad event, then they have a really good tournament, and now they're doing really good in these finals, apparently. So very up and down, but it's working great. Look at that. Only 2-point difference between Xavier and Damwon, despite sure having 4 chicken dinners. You would expect them to be a lot higher, but as we know, when they do not get those wins, they tend to get very low point game results. So that's it evens out throughout the day, right? But the fact that they're able to get 4 wins and are potentially aiming for that first place, like they could make it up there. But yeah, eliminations are definitely lacking a little bit here. A lot of the points come in from purely those chicken dinners, those 15 points they get every single time in those wins.
60 points out of 79 are from those 4 chicken dinners. Just absolutely insane. And we find it hard to analyze why they're doing so well, but I mean, the numbers aren't lying. They're currently in 3rd place. That's a lot of money for them to win, not to mention a place in the grand finals. Sure. I mean, 3rd place, you win $72,500. It's not quite $362,000, but the rate they're going, Colares, hey, maybe they'll be taking that trophy.
The Xavier roller coaster right now is a wild ride, let me tell you that. They have been so up and down here throughout this finals, but the thing is that if you're finding these central positions and able to work with them in these moments, then yeah, absolutely. You can't question it. 4 wins out of the 11 games. I'm not questioning it now.
Well, speaking of wins, you guys have a chance to win some permanent rewards. You guys are watching on the Esports Center or over here on YouTube. You can get a permanent reward unlocked for yourself by accumulating these PMGC tokens between the 22nd and 13th of January. And not to mention even more to be gained for you guys. If we hit 500,000 peak concurrent viewers, you get yourself 900 tokens, and you only need 1,200. So Max, do the math really quickly. How many more tokens would you need if we hit the 500,000 concurrent viewers?
Oh man, how much I would need to get all of that? I don't know.
I
have to make the numbers know.
So just someone out there, some Joe, just watch it.
I don't know.
Who's Joe?
Who's Joe? Yeah, who is Joe? That's the question I want to go with.
you know what I'm scared with is the fact that I don't know if you're kidding or if you actually just can't do that subtraction in your head.
Because I wasn't listening to the math you wanted me to do, so I got caught midway. I was like, oh no, I actually don't know. I'm not going to look bad.
So that's why you went with, I want to know about Joe. Who is this Joe?
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's only 300 tokens you're going to need beyond that. And you can actually get more information in the chat. Just type it on as well. But we're going to be heading to a break here. It is a much needed break here for some teams to figure out what is going on with Xavier. Can they come back and get a 3rd win of the day and be 5 overall? We'll find out after a short break.
They're going to be holding off the entirety of DRS, pushing in onto this onslaught now. Rock has taken place. Just going to be falling on top. This is a very smart play. Oh no, Nima!
Help sie kommt reinside hier von jetzt Poliana. Nice. They could move closer. They could try to stick together. They find the revive coming from those stereotypical locations.
Yeah, boy.
So we saw these teams drop on by. No, don't do it. Don't save it. The paraglider is useless. Okay.
Mello though in a position to maybe receive. Yes, open arms Reggie in a battle of his own.
Roger that.
Wall does get done. Will get down. Back up.
Help me! Roger that.
Sarah, in the meantime, has managed to push all the way up. But it's the holdout coming through from the Deadeyes guy. Straight through the window. Plants some.
Just starting to make their way outside of Pachinki, which I would argue is a little bit too late. A couple of teams were the likes of Helicopter! extend it to more, and I'm sure others will join in on the mix. If there's ever a time to say, helicopter, helicopter!
It was at this moment that Nathan knew. He f***ed up.
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
Here we go. It is time to start off our sixth and final match here of our second day of a league play. There's still 1 day left to go, 7 matches left in total. And my only question to you right now, Maximum, as we hop into this is, how many more chicken dinners will D. Xavier get?
I can tell you, because of the prediction that's coming up, I probably no more. Not many are going to come up now. D. Xavier, if they can get more wins, fantastic. Keep on going, boys. But we need to see that when they have bad performances, even if it's just a few eliminations here and there, I want to see more consistency in the games where they do not perform that well. And I think that will be the step up that I'm expecting from this team. They can get the wins, that's great, but we need a little bit more to back it up sometimes.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, like Clara said, it's a railroad of a ride for them. So, not railroad, a roller coaster of a ride for them. That's just weird. It's been so up and down, and we've had a lot of downs just over the course of the finals alone. I think, Clara, you were like talking about it while we were in the break there. The amount of matches they have where they get just like no eliminations and they got early, and then they have 2 or 3 of these matches where they win.
I mean, the funny thing is that it's very situational, right, from team to team. Oftentimes we look at a team and they're getting themselves loads of really cool
Welcome to PUBG Mobile. I need a weapon.
Team match, let's go.
The blue team has scored for the first time.
كثيرك الله والله عفوا
Reloading.
وعلى طلع المسد
يا سعود هذا والله كذا
لك الله شو ما يسوي آتم طبعا يا خرا باكستانيين
Clear. Cover me! Dead! Reloading! Enemy down! No mercy!
The red team is in the lead.
Kill! Cover me! Target down! Reloading! Enemy down! Cover me! Be careful! You're losing the game!
The red team is about to win.
Reloading! Red team victory!
हेलो। हाँ नमी ओए क्या हाल है?
ठीक है जनाब, तू सुना।
बस ठीक शुक्र है। क्या हो रहा है? क्या कर रहे हैं?
कोई नहीं, गेम खेलदा खड़ा
क्या गया?
लिव खेलदा पिया, चिकन मार आया।
अच्छा
हम्म,
सही। चिकन मार रहे हैं। चलो तो लीडर ला
ये
दे।
भला
डाल ही।
केड़ी लिखी स्टेडियम खेलनी है, लिव खेलनी है।
कोई खेल दे।
Welcome to PUBG Mobile.
आई बात ऑटोमेटिक सही नहीं की थी।